What if I told you that before your first breath, before your name, before anyone knew you existed, your soul had already begun a journey so extraordinary that, according to the Vedic tradition, it continues to shape your life even today? The ancient Vedas teach that the soul is far older than the body. It does not begin at birth, and it does not end with death. Hidden within its timeless journey are subtle impressions, lessons, and truths that the conscious mind has forgotten, but that may still quietly influence the way we live. Have you ever felt an unexplainable connection to someone you had just met, a fear that seemed older than your own experiences, or a deep feeling that you came into this world for a purpose you cannot fully explain? The Vedic sages invite us to consider that these moments are not simply random. They may reflect the soul's long journey and the impressions it carries as it moves through life. In this video, we will explore 5 profound teachings inspired by the Vedas about what the soul may have known before birth, why the mind does not consciously remember it, how karma shapes the path before us, why certain people enter our lives at the perfect moment, and what the sages believed is the greatest truth every soul is capable of realizing. But stay with me until the very end, because the final lesson reveals the deepest secret of all. The greatest mystery is not what your soul may have seen before birth. It is what it came into this life to remember. And once you understand that teaching, you may never look at your life, or at yourself, in quite the same way again. If you are ready to explore one of the most profound ideas in Vedic philosophy, subscribe to the channel and let us begin this extraordinary journey together. 1. Before you were born, your soul stood at the threshold of a new journey. Most people believe that life begins the moment a baby takes its first breath, but the ancient Vedic sages saw life in a very different way. According to the Vedic tradition, your body begins at birth, but your soul does not. Your soul is eternal. It was not created when you were born, and it does not disappear when the body dies. Birth is simply the beginning of a new chapter in a much longer journey. Your body grows, your mind learns, your personality slowly takes shape. But deep within you is something that never grows old. The Vedas call it the Atman, your true self. Imagine standing beside a great ocean. A wave rises from the water. It travels across the sea for a while. Then it gently returns to the ocean. Soon another wave appears. If you only watch the waves, each one looks like a completely new beginning. But the ocean knows the truth. The water never disappeared. It only took a different form. The Vedas invite us to see ourselves in the same way. The body is like the wave. The soul is like the ocean. This one idea can completely change the way we see life. If we believe we are only our body, then every sign of aging becomes frightening. Every loss feels permanent. Every ending feels like the end of everything. But according to the Vedas, the deepest part of you is not your body. It is your soul. And the soul continues its journey beyond what our eyes can see. This teaching is not asking us to pretend we know every mystery about life. Instead, it encourages us to look at life with humility and wonder. Think about the questions many people ask. Why was I born into this family? Why do I feel connected to certain people the moment I meet them? Why do some experiences change me forever? The Vedas do not give simple answers to every question. Instead, they teach that life follows a deeper spiritual order. Our actions matter. Our choices matter. Every experience can become part of our growth. Nothing is wasted when we learn from it. Seen this way, life is not meaningless. It is filled with opportunities to grow. Every difficulty can teach us something. Every act of kindness shapes our character. Every moment of awareness brings us a little closer to understanding who we really are. This is why the Vedic sages placed so much importance on looking within. Not because they wanted people to become obsessed with past lives, but because they believed the greatest truth is not hidden in the past. It is waiting to be discovered inside you, right now. The most important question is not, who was I before I was born? The deeper question is, who am I beneath this body, these thoughts, and these emotions? The moment you begin asking that question honestly, something starts to change. You stop letting fear control your life. You stop measuring your worth by success, money, or the opinions of others. You begin to realize that what is temporary does not define who you truly are. According to the Vedic tradition, every person has the ability to awaken to this deeper truth, and that awakening is worth more than wealth, more than power, more than fame, because everything the world gives can one day be taken away. But the wisdom of knowing your true self can never be taken from you. Perhaps this is why, throughout history, so many seekers left behind comfort to search for truth. Deep inside, they knew that no achievement, no possession, and no success could answer the question that quietly lived in their hearts. Who am I, really? Maybe that same question has been waiting inside you all along. Not because your soul remembers every detail of a life before this one, but because, according to the Vedic tradition, your soul has always been moving toward one great realization, to remember its true nature, and that is where the real journey begins. 2. The Vedas say your soul never lost its memory, only your mind did. Have you ever walked into a place for the very first time, yet something inside you quietly whispered, I have been here before? Or perhaps you have met someone you had never seen in this life, but their presence felt strangely familiar. Many people experience moments like these. The Vedas encourage us to reflect on them with curiosity, while also recognizing that such feelings can have many possible explanations. Rather than claiming certainty, they invite us to ask a deeper question. What if the deepest part of you knows more than your conscious mind can remember? According to the Vedic tradition, the soul carries subtle impressions from its long journey. These are not memories like remembering your childhood home or your first day at school. They are much deeper than ordinary memories. The Sanskrit word samskara refers to subtle impressions left by our actions, thoughts, and experiences. The Vedic sages taught that these impressions quietly influence the way we see the world. They can shape our habits, our fears, our strengths, even the kinds of lessons we seem to face again and again. But if the soul carries these impressions, why don't we remember everything? The Vedas offer a beautiful answer. It is not the soul that forgets, it is the mind. Imagine opening a brand new book. The pages are clean, the cover is fresh, but the person reading the book has lived many years. The book is new, the reader is not. In the same way, according to the Vedic tradition, every new life begins with a new body and a new mind, but the soul continues its journey. The mind is like a window. Sometimes the window is clear, sometimes it is covered with dust. When the window is covered, the sunlight has not disappeared, it is simply hidden. The Vedic sages believed our true nature is like that sunlight. It is always present, but our fears, our endless desires, our anger, our pride, and our constant distractions can cover the mind like layers of dust. The more the mind becomes attached to temporary things, the harder it becomes to recognize the quiet wisdom already within us. This is why the Vedas place so much importance on inner discipline, meditation, self-reflection, truthfulness, compassion. Not because these practices magically reveal secret memories, but because they help calm the mind. And when the mind becomes quiet, the deeper self becomes easier to recognize. Think about a lake on a windy day. The water is always moving. You cannot clearly see your reflection. But when the wind stops, the surface becomes still. Suddenly, everything becomes clear. The Vedas teach that the human mind is very much like that lake. When it is constantly filled with worry, fear, comparison, and endless noise, it becomes difficult to see reality clearly. But when the mind grows peaceful, we begin to notice something that was always there, a quiet awareness that does not change even when life changes. Many people spend their entire lives trying to find peace somewhere outside themselves. They search for it in success, in money, in relationships, in praise from other people. Yet every achievement brings only temporary satisfaction. Soon another desire appears, another goal, another chase. The Vedic sages gently remind us that lasting peace does not come from collecting more experiences. It comes from understanding who is having those experiences. The search outside slowly turns into a search within, and that changes everything. You begin reacting less. You become more patient. You stop feeling that every problem can destroy you. You discover a quiet strength that was always present beneath the noise of the mind. Perhaps this is what the ancient sages wanted us to understand. The greatest treasure is not hidden in a distant place. It is hidden beneath the restless thoughts that fill our own minds every day. According to the Vedic tradition, the soul has never lost its true nature. It has never become less complete. It has never stopped moving toward truth. Only the mind became distracted. Only the mind forgot where lasting peace can be found. And the moment the mind becomes still enough to look inward, the journey of remembering truly begins. 3. Long before you opened your eyes, your karma was already shaping this life. One of the biggest questions people ask is, why is my life so different from someone else's? Why is one person born into comfort while another begins life with struggle? Why do some people seem to find opportunities wherever they go, while others face one challenge after another? The Vedas do not answer these questions by saying life is random. According to the Vedic tradition, life unfolds within the law of karma, but karma is often misunderstood. Many people think karma is simply a system of rewards and punishments. If I do something good, good things will happen. If I do something bad will happen. The Vedic sages describe something much deeper. Karma is not about revenge. It is about cause and effect. Just as every seed grows into the kind of tree that was planted, every action, every intention, and every choice creates results that shape the future. Some results appear quickly, others may take much longer. The important lesson is this: nothing meaningful is ever truly lost. Every kind action matters. Every selfish action matters. Every honest decision matters. Every moment of compassion leaves its mark. According to the Vedic tradition, the soul continues carrying the effects of its actions as it moves through its long journey. This does not mean we can look at someone's life and know exactly why they are facing a particular situation. The Vedas encourage humility, not judgment. No human being can see the complete picture. Only the divine knows the full story. That is why the wise never look at another person's suffering and say, they deserve it. Instead, they respond with kindness, because kindness itself creates better karma. Think of life as an echo. When you stand in a valley and call out, your voice eventually returns. Not because the valley is punishing you, but because that is how echoes work. The Vedic sages used similar ideas to explain karma. The universe reflects our actions back to us over time. Sometimes the echo returns quickly. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes, according to the Vedic tradition, its effects continue beyond a single lifetime. This teaching is not meant to make us afraid. It is meant to make us aware. Every choice you make today is quietly shaping tomorrow. The words you speak, the promises you keep, the way you treat people when no one is watching. All of these become part of the path you are creating. This is why the Vedas place such great importance on living with Dharma, living in a way that is truthful, compassionate, and responsible. When your actions are guided by Dharma, you are not only helping others, you are transforming yourself. Many people spend their lives asking, why did this happen to me? The Vedic sages gently invite us to ask a different question. What is this experience trying to teach me? That single change can transform the way you see every challenge. Instead of becoming bitter, you become wiser. Instead of seeing every difficulty as a punishment, you begin to see it as an opportunity to grow. Even painful experiences can become powerful teachers. They can build patience. They can awaken compassion. They can remind us of what truly matters. According to the Vedic tradition, no experience is meaningless when it brings you closer to truth. This does not mean every event has an easy explanation. Life is often mysterious. Some questions remain unanswered. But the Vedas encourage us not to lose hope because of what we cannot understand. They remind us to focus on what we can always control: our thoughts, our intentions, our actions, our character. Every sunrise gives us another chance to choose kindness instead of anger, honesty instead of deception, forgiveness instead of hatred, courage instead of fear. In that moment we are planting new seeds, and today's seeds become tomorrow's harvest. Perhaps this is one of the greatest messages hidden within the Vedic understanding of karma. Your past may influence where you begin, but it does not have to decide where you finish. Every conscious choice you make today has the power to change the direction of your journey. The future is not built in a single moment. It is created one thought, one decision, one action at a time. And according to the Vedic sages, every step taken with wisdom brings the soul a little closer to remembering its true nature. 4. The people who entered your life were never random. Your soul had a purpose in meeting them. Have you ever met someone who changed your life, even though they stayed for only a short time? Or perhaps someone entered your life without warning, and after meeting them, you were never the same again. Some people become our greatest source of joy. Others become our deepest heartbreak. Some encourage us to grow. Others teach us painful lessons we never wanted to learn. When these moments happen, we often ask, why did I meet this person? Why did they come into my life? Why did they have to leave? According to the Vedic tradition, life is not simply a series of random meetings. It teaches that our relationships are connected to the larger journey of the soul and the unfolding of karma. This does not mean every meeting was planned in a detailed way that we can fully understand. Rather, the Vedic sages encourage us to see that the people we encounter can become important teachers on our path. Some people enter your life to encourage you. They remind you of the goodness that already lives inside you. They help you believe in yourself when you have forgotten your own strength. Their presence brings peace, not because they complete you, but because they inspire the best within you. Other people come into your life for a very different reason. They test your patience. They challenge your pride. They expose your fears. They reveal the parts of yourself that still need healing. At first, these relationships often feel unfair. You wonder why someone caused so much pain, why they disappointed you, why they walked away. But many years later, you sometimes realize something surprising. Without that experience, you would never have become the person you are today. The Vedic sages believed that growth rarely comes only through comfort. Just as gold is refined by fire, the human heart is often refined through life's challenges. That does not mean suffering is good, or that harmful behavior should be accepted. It means that even painful experiences can become meaningful if we respond with wisdom instead of bitterness. Think about a sculptor shaping a block of stone. Every strike of the chisel removes something. From the outside, it may look like destruction, but the sculptor is slowly revealing the beautiful form hidden inside. The Vedic tradition suggests that life often works in a similar way. Some experiences remove our pride, others remove our selfishness, others teach us patience, humility, compassion, or forgiveness. Little by little, life shapes our character. Many people spend years asking, why did this person leave me? The Vedic sages gently invite us to ask a different question. What did this relationship come to teach me? That question changes everything. Instead of remaining trapped in anger, you begin searching for wisdom. Instead of seeing yourself only as someone who was hurt, You begin seeing yourself as someone who has grown. Even the people who disappointed you may have unknowingly pushed you toward a deeper understanding of yourself. Sometimes losing a relationship helps you discover your own worth. Sometimes rejection teaches you not to build your identity around another person. Sometimes betrayal reminds you to seek lasting peace within yourself instead of depending completely on the changing behavior of others. According to the Vedic tradition, every person who enters your life leaves behind something, a lesson, a memory, a challenge, a blessing, or an opportunity to become wiser. This is why the sages encouraged people not to hold on to resentment forever. Resentment keeps the mind tied to the past. It steals today's peace. It prevents tomorrow's growth. Forgiveness does not mean pretending that nothing happened. It does not mean every relationship should continue. Sometimes the wisest choice is to walk away. Sometimes love means creating healthy distance. Sometimes peace begins when you stop trying to change people who do not want to change. The Vedic teachings remind us that wisdom is not found in controlling other people. It is found in learning how to respond with awareness, compassion, and inner strength. As your understanding grows, something beautiful begins to happen. You stop asking why life is against you. You begin seeing that every meaningful encounter has the potential to shape your journey. Some people arrive to walk beside you. Some arrive to point you in a new direction. Some arrive to awaken qualities within you that were waiting to grow. And some leave after their lesson is complete. According to the Vedic tradition, the true purpose of every relationship is not simply to make life comfortable. It is to help the soul move one step closer to truth. When you begin seeing people through that lens, gratitude slowly becomes stronger than regret. Wisdom becomes stronger than pain, and your heart becomes free enough to continue its journey with greater understanding than ever before. 5. The greatest secret is not what your soul saw before birth. It is what it came here to remember. After everything we have explored, one question still remains. If the soul existed before this life, if it has traveled through many experiences, if it carries the subtle effects of karma, then what is the purpose of this life? According to the Vedic tradition, the greatest purpose is not to remember every detail of what came before. It is to remember who you truly are. This is the heart of the Vedic teachings. Many people spend their entire lives searching for answers outside themselves. They search for happiness in money. They search for peace in success. They search for security in relationships. They search for their identity in the opinions of other people. For a while, these things may bring joy, but sooner or later, they change. Money comes and goes, success rises and falls, relationships begin and end, the body grows older, the world never stops changing. If your happiness depends only on things that change, your peace will always feel uncertain. The Vedic sages understood this thousands of years ago. They taught that lasting peace cannot be built on temporary things. It can only be found by discovering the part of yourself that never changes. That unchanging reality is what they called the Atman. Your true self, not your job, not your appearance, not your fears, not your past, not even the story you tell yourself every day. Beneath all of these is a quiet awareness that has been with you since the beginning. It watches your thoughts, it witnesses your emotions, it remains present through every stage of your life. When you were a child, it was there. As you grew older, it was still there. Even though your body changed, your personality changed, and your circumstances changed, that silent awareness remained the same. According to the Vedic tradition, this is the deepest truth we are meant to discover. The tragedy is not that people forget a previous life. The greater tragedy is forgetting their true nature while living this one. Imagine a prince who loses his memory as a child. He grows up believing he is poor. He struggles every day. He feels small. He doubts himself. Years later, someone shows him the truth. Nothing new was added to him. He was always a prince. He had simply forgotten. The Vedic sages often used stories like this to teach an important lesson. The journey of life is not about becoming something completely different. It is about removing the ignorance that hides what has always been true. Think about the sun hidden behind thick clouds. On a cloudy day, it may seem as though the sun has disappeared, but it never left the sky. The clouds only blocked your view. In the same way, according to the Vedic tradition, your true self never disappears. It becomes hidden behind fear, desire, anger, pride, attachment, and endless distractions. As wisdom grows, those clouds slowly begin to clear. You become less controlled by fear. You stop chasing approval from everyone around you. You stop believing that your value depends on what you own or how others see you. A quiet confidence begins to grow. Not the confidence of the ego, but the confidence that comes from knowing there is something within you that no hardship can destroy. This understanding also changes the way you look at other people. You become less interested in judging, more interested in understanding, less eager to compete, more willing to help. You begin seeing every person as someone who is also walking through life's great journey. Some are just beginning to ask deeper questions. Others are already searching for truth, and some have forgotten that search altogether. The Vedic sages taught that wisdom is not measured by how much information you collect. It is measured by how much your heart changes. A wise person becomes calmer, more patient, more compassionate, more truthful. Not because someone forced them to change, but because they have begun to remember who they really are. Perhaps this is why the greatest masters never encouraged people to become obsessed with mysterious knowledge. They encouraged them to live with awareness, to act with kindness, to speak with honesty, to control the restless mind, to serve others without expecting anything in return, because these qualities slowly remove the clouds that hide the light already within. So maybe the greatest question is not, what did my soul see before I was born? The deeper question is, what is my soul trying to help me remember today? According to the Vedic tradition, every sunrise gives you another opportunity to answer that question. Every challenge invites you to grow. Every act of kindness brings you closer to your true nature. Every moment of awareness becomes another step on the journey home. The journey of the soul is not only about where it has been, it is about where it is awakening now. And perhaps the greatest memory your soul can ever recover is not the memory of another lifetime, but the timeless truth that has quietly lived within you all along. That truth cannot grow old. It cannot be lost. It cannot be destroyed. It has been waiting patiently beneath every fear, every mistake, every success, and every sorrow. According to the Vedic sages, the moment you begin to recognize that truth, you stop living as someone searching for yourself, and you begin living as someone who is finally remembering. Before you leave, take a quiet moment and ask yourself one question. If your soul could speak to you right now, what do you think it would ask you to remember? Share your answer in the comments. I read them, and your words may inspire someone else on their own journey. If this video helped you see yourself and life from a deeper perspective, please support the channel by liking this video and subscribing for more explorations of timeless Vedic wisdom. Every week we uncover ancient teachings that continue to guide modern life with clarity, purpose, and inner peace. Until our next journey together, take care of your mind, protect your heart, seek truth with humility, and never stop looking within. Because according to the Vedic tradition, the greatest discovery you will ever make is not somewhere out in the world. It is the truth that has been quietly waiting inside you all along.